Well, hey there, guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're taking a look at the xTool F1 infrared and diode portable laser engraver. Well, this show is no stranger to laser engravers, and to date I have featured several xTool products, the D1 Pro, the S1 fully enclosed laser engraver, and all the xTool accessories that I brought here to the show have been excellent, and each and every one has performed extremely well, both in my initial shop tests and in my continued use in the shop. So when xTool contacted me and asked if I wanted to try their F1 infrared and diode portable laser engraver, I jumped at the chance. And that's what we're going to look at today. So what makes the F1 different from other lasers out there on the market? Well, for starters, this thing is lightning fast. It has a maximum speed of 4,000 millimeters per second. And to some of you, that may not mean much, but if we compare it to an xTool D1 Pro 10-watt laser engraver, that has a maximum speed of 400 millimeters per second. So it's easy to do the math and see that the F1 is 10 times faster. Now, if you're running a small business or at home or making smaller items for your local craft fair, time is money, guys. And being able to engrave projects 10 times faster immensely shortens your production time. Even the xTool S1 fully enclosed laser that I showcased here a little while ago on the show is only rated for a maximum of 600 millimeters per second. So again, the F1 is 6.6 times faster than the S1 fully enclosed laser engraver. So how does the F1 achieve the higher speeds? Well, it's because the F1 is a galvanometer laser or a galvo laser. That basically is a fancy term to say that it uses mirrors to redirect the laser beam. For most diode lasers, the engraving is controlled through a combination of gantry and servo motors that control the movement through the X and the Y axis of the engraving. This is very similar to the type of system that a CNC machine would use. And while it is an efficient, tried and true method of controlling flat engravers, its physical limitations can only allow the engraver to go so fast. The gantry can't handle higher speeds, and the drive belts can only handle so much stress before they snap under the pressure of higher speed engravings. But with the Galvo style engraver, dual mirrors direct the beam along the engraving without the limitations of those motors and belt driven gantries. So the mirrors just pivot, and that allows some incredible speeds and a more consistent power output from the engraver. It's just an incredible system to see in action. One of the safety features that the F1 has incorporated, and we saw it initially here on the show when I reviewed the S1 enclosed laser, is that safety off switch. This is a safety feature that all diode lasers should have, whether they're fully enclosed like the S1 or an open frame style like the D1 Pro. A safety panic button to shut down the laser immediately is just a smart addition. And we're engraving items that are flammable, and in some case, it's possible that they could ignite. Having a way to instantly shut down the laser is a must, in my opinion. The F1 boasts that it can engrave over 300 types of material: wood, acrylic, leather, rubber, ceramic, glass, stainless steel, aluminum, plastic, slate, copper, silver, gold, rocks, bone, mirrors, canvas, and a whole host of materials that you probably haven't even thought of yet. The F1 claims to have a 0.00199 millimeter movement accuracy. Now, what that means is that the beam and control is so precise that the F1 can engrave letters in fonts that are a minimum of, get this, 0.3 millimeters in height. Now, it also claims that when engraving letters that are this small, that the engraving is clear and legible. And although you might need a magnifying glass to see it, the engraving should be perfect. So, you know what? We're going to put that claim to the test today and see if this machine can put its money where its mouth is. Now, the working space on the xTool F1 is 115 by 115 millimeters. So a smaller working space, but with the optional slide extension, you can increase that area to 115 by 400, which gives you a lot more versatility while taking up a very small amount of space in your shop or crafting area. Guys, high resolution image engraving up to 1270 DPI. That's a crazy claim for a home laser, but the F1 claims it can do it. Complete and total portability with complete compatibility with your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, your phone. You just download the Creative Space for whatever device you're using, and away you go. Engraving on the go for church bazaars, yard sales, craft fairs, in-store customization, or anywhere that you can think of to use a laser. Total portability. Automatic and manual focusing modes. Two different ways to live preview your engraving before committing to the final product. A built-in protective shield to protect your eyes and hands from the damaging laser light. If you already have an RE2, the F1 is compatible with it, and that adds the extra versatility of rotary engraving. Guys, there is so much to see and so much to play with on today's show. I haven't even cracked the box open yet, and I'm already excited to play with this laser. So stick around, guys, and let's have some fun testing this laser out. And of course, I'm going to let you know if I think it's as good as what it claims to be. So let's head over to the bench and check out the xTool F1 10-watt portable laser. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to get this unpacked and just show you the contents of what you get in the box. I'm not going to go through a step-by-step, item-by-item removal out of the box like your typical unboxing video, but I do want to give you an overview of what's included when you order the xTool F1. So let me get this unpacked and I'll show you what's included. Well, when you finally get everything unpackaged, this is what you're looking at. It comes with the laser itself. We have the power supply and power cords, as well as the USB connecting cord. We have a working plate for cutting. We have a microfiber cloth for cleaning the lens, a working plate, as well as an adjustable stop. We have a spare USB key, which is nice because these newer lasers do not work without a USB key installed. It's a safety feature, so it's nice to have a spare one in case we should lose it. A little tube of grease. We have a venting tube to exhaust the fumes or the smoke out the back end of the laser. We have a package of all kinds of testing materials or engraving materials. We have wood, we have a wood slice, looks like a little bit of leather, some acrylics, some metal tags and cards, maybe a coaster, quite a bit of stuff there. And as well, we also have the manual. So a lot of stuff packed into a very small box. So guys, as I said, I've just opened this. I really haven't got the chance to look at how this works. So I'm going to take some time to go through the manual. And when we come back, I'm going to show you some initial setup of this, and we'll see how we make out. Well, we're just going to plug this in and see if we can't connect it to the XCS software. I have everything unpacked. I was supposed to be sent out the fume extractor, but it didn't arrive. So I just have it vented out the window for now. So we'll just refresh this. And there we go. There is the xTool F1 there. We'll just click on that and it's going to tell us that it's going to reset our parameters if we connect it to XCS, and we'll just click OK for that. All right. So it looks like there is a new firmware. So we will go through this process here of updating the firmware. I don't think that we need a video of it, so I will see you when that is done. Well, I'm here on XCS. The firmware update is completed. I just want to test this to see how it works. I have no experience with the F1. So what I've done is I've imported my logo here of the Cut Above Woodworkings, and we're going to give this a try. Now, there's two ways that you can focus this laser, guys. The one way is to measure your material thickness in millimeters. In this case, it's a piece of maple. I've measured it. It's 3.32 millimeters. So over here on the screen, under your thickness, you can place this at 3.3. It only goes to 1 decimal place. And we will hit enter. And we can see here that the laser is focusing in automatically. Done. You are now focused. It's that quick, that easy. But what if you want to do it manually? What if you want to fine tune that just a little bit? Well, all you need to do is this knob here on the side. You can rotate this clockwise or counterclockwise, and that will automatically raise or lower your head. And down here in your work area, you have a red dot and a blue dot. And essentially, on your material, you want to rotate that knob until those dots line up. And when they line up perfectly with each other, then you should be perfectly in focus. So there we go. We're lined up there. They look good. And it shows on our screen as well here at 3.3 millimeters. So let's just see how this is going to go. And let's give this an engraving. And we'll see what the results are like. So once you click start here, it's going to tell you that you need to press this button here right on the side. And you'll just push that and we'll engrave this. Wow. Are you kidding me? That was ridiculous. Guys, 25 seconds to engrave this. This takes way longer with the gantry style lasers, and that is a very, very clean engraving. Let me give you a close-up of this so you can see how clean that engraving is. And some of the things were actually done more than one pass. The box around the cut above woodworkings was 3 passes. Well, now I want to try something else. So let's see what else we can put to the test here. Well, I want to test a couple things here. They claim this laser can do the tiniest letters due to its accuracy and small beam. As well, I want to engrave this tag. Now, this is galvanized. Galvanized, if you're going to burn galvanized metal, honestly, guys, vent this thing well. I have it vented right out my window because burning or engraving on galvanized can produce toxic fumes. So be sure that you're venting it outside. But either way, I have this little guy here. This is just a test. I have it set so that it is as small as the machine will allow me to engrave it. I've set my focus at 0.3 millimeters thickness, which is what this tag is. And I'm just going to place this here. It's not sitting in there very well because the tag has a little bit of a warp to it. Let's see if we can fix that. And the other thing I'm going to be testing here is I want to use the infrared laser in this case. I don't want to use the diode laser on this. I have it set to do stainless steel sheet. So we're going to try that and just see what happens. But we're going to process it, start it, and it shouldn't take long at all because it's the tiniest engraving. That was hardly worth starting the machine up for. Let's just see if it even engraved anything here on this piece. I don't see anything, but you know what? Let's take it over to the magnifier and see what we can see. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it with the naked eye, but if I put it under this magnifier, I can see it. It's right here, and honestly, guys, it's crystal clear. That is the tiniest lettering I think I have ever engraved. And I did it on galvanized with no catalyst, which is also kind of a feat in itself. That is pretty cool. Okay, so let's try something different. Well, I want to test some of these test materials that they've sent me out. So I have this fake leather patch in here. I have set this for artificial leather in their automatic settings through the XCS, and I've imported my logo on the screen. So I've done the framing here. I've checked it. I like the way it looks as far as the framing goes and how it's centered. And I just want to engrave this and see how it turns out. So far, guys, the coolest thing about this is that I don't have to speed up any video to show you actual engravings. That's just amazing. That is absolutely incredible. Guys, look at how beautiful that is. That is fantastic. The engraving's clean, it's clear. It took seconds. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's phenomenal. Well, I've done wood, I've done fake leather, I've done galvanized. I want to try a slate coaster, but as well, they provided me with some of these aluminum business cards. So I've kind of made up a little hokey pattern here for the channel, and we're just going to try it. I mean, what do we got to lose here? So far, guys, every single test that we have done here has been absolutely amazing. So let's just give this a go and see what happens. And there we go. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that turned out really well also. That's amazing. Well, what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to engrave an image. I went on xTool's site and pulled one of their free images off of there, and I'm trying to engrave it in some poplar stock. Now, I'm venting this to the outside, and honestly, guys, the fan is doing a great job. I don't have any smells or any smoke at all here in the shop, but let me get this engraved, and I'll show you what this image looks like. All right, so let's just see how this worked out. Now, I have taken this and really reduced the DPI, so I could really increase this. I think I did this at something really low, like 200 DPI. And we can see where the darker shade of the wood, of course, changes the way that it engraves. But I think I'd like to try this image on the slate coaster that they provided with the test material. So that's one material we haven't tested yet. Let's give that a try because I think that could look really neat. Well, this is finally finished, and truth be told, I cranked up the resolution on it and caused it to do crazy amounts of processing. It actually took about 38 minutes to engrave this one coaster. And as I was looking at it, I was thinking, you know what? I should have reversed the image because on slate, when you engrave slate, your dark areas that it's engraving actually end up to be light. So I should have actually reversed the image and done it in negative. And I think this would have turned out even better. But I do love what it has done here. It's still an incredible engraving. The detail in it is absolutely spectacular. And I really think I need to do this again, but do it with a reversed image. So I think I'm going to give that a try and see how we make out with that. And for those of you that don't know, if you mess up a slate coaster, you can sand it off, guys. So a little bit of sandpaper mounted on MDF, sand it up, and you got a brand new coaster for engraving again. So don't think that you've wasted it if you're not happy with the engraving. All right, so this is completed. We'll just see how this one came out. Okay, it's hard to tell at the moment because there is a lot of dust on there. Let me get this washed off. I'm going to take it inside, wash it up, and I'll show you how this coaster turned out. Okay, so truth be told, cranking up the DPI on something like a slate coaster is just because the laser can do it doesn't mean you should do it. So I did it. It's very washed out. Even after I cleaned up the dust, it's still a great image and it almost has a 3D effect to it, but it's not suited for a slate coaster. So I dropped the DPI down to about 250. And guys, look at that. That now looks incredible. I love this. So I think I'm going to make a whole set of these for Halloween. I'll sand this one off and save it, but that looks amazing. I'll just give you a better view of it here. Check that out. Oh, and one more thing. This here with the high DPI was 38 minutes processing. Way too long. This one here that looks way better on the slate coaster, 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes to engrave this coaster. Okay, so in order to connect this to Wi-Fi, you want to come up here under your F1 settings, and that's this little gear right here. We'll click it, and if we scroll down, we can see Wi-Fi settings. Right now, it's not configured, so let's just configure this. We'll choose the Wi-Fi network. Pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's me. And we will put in my password. All right, and with the password in there, we're just going to click next. And the Wi-Fi configuration is complete. Now disconnect the USB cable and try operating your device wirelessly. All right, we got to give this a try. Unplug the USB-C. Let's do another one of these coasters. The skull head coasters. Why not? So we'll close these settings. I just want to check because coasters are inherently different thicknesses. So if you're engraving sets of coasters, guys, make sure you check your thicknesses because it can really throw your focus off. You don't need to use a caliper, guys. You can also use the manual focus on this. This one's 9 millimeters thick. That is a thick coaster. Okay. So we're going to put this in here. Let's try this wireless. I'm excited about this. So we're going to change our thickness now to 9 millimeters. And we're going to frame it. Oh, I like this already. I like the fact that I am not messing around with a cord. Okay, we're going to stop framing, close our lid, and process this. And we're going to see if it works Wi-Fi. Wow. Okay, fantastic. Wireless engraving. I love it. And there you have it. The xTool F1 diode and infrared laser engraver. Guys, this thing is very, very impressive. I'm pretty selective here on the show now when it comes to reviewing or showing you guys laser engravers. It has to be something different for me. It can't just be another open frame 20-watt laser. It can't just be another open frame 10-watt laser. It has to have something to offer. And with the F1, there is plenty in this little package to offer. Portability, Wi-Fi connection. It has infrared to engrave on metals without a catalyst. You've got the diode 10-watt laser. You've got that mirror system instead of the gantry system that is lightning fast. That's one of the most impressive things here today for me. Part that really kind of threw me back. I've seen the videos online of people holding their phone up with the little timer going for this laser. And the first thing I thought was, yeah, okay. All right, whatever you say. But honestly, I'm blown away. This thing is so fast for engraving anything you want. 300 plus materials that have been tested on this machine. I only scratched the surface today, or engraved the surface. There are so many more things that can be engraved with this. And I just don't have enough time in a show to test everything. I don't even have all of the materials to be able to test as much as I want to with this machine. It's a very impressive, lightweight, quick, versatile, portable, wireless. Oh my goodness. The portability of this is also one of the most impressive features. The fact that you can grab by the handle and walk away with this thing and control it with your phone. If you were heading to, say, I don't know, let's say you were doing a church bazaar and you had little plaques that you wanted to engrave, custom plaques. If you had that file on the app on your phone, all you'd have to do is go in, change the font, frame it out, and wirelessly engrave it, and you're done. But it's an amazing little machine. I'm very impressed with this. But then again, I've always been happy with xTool's products. From the D1 Pro 20 watt that I have to the 20 watt S1 fully enclosed laser, and now the F1 10 watt diode and infrared portable, xTool makes a good product, guys. It's not just about hype. They make a quality product. I've never had a problem with any xTool laser that I've ever owned. They've always connected easily. They've always worked. They've always run well. And as long as you keep up the maintenance and do your due diligence to keep the machine running at its optimal, you're not going to have a problem with them. Either way, guys, the F1 is a very viable machine. And if you are in the market for a powerful, versatile laser engraver and you're interested in something like this, but you don't have a lot of shop space, a lot of real estate in your shop or your crafting space, guys, you might want to consider the xTool F1. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to place all the links down below for you guys. If you want to purchase one of these, you want to check it out, the links will be down below in the video's description. Please check it out. Go over there, see what they have that you like, and you know what? You won't be disappointed. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We have an amazing audience base here, guys, and I'm hoping that you're going to consider becoming a part of that. I want to thank xTool very much for sending out the F1 for me to play with today. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you found this a little bit informative, and if not informative, maybe entertaining. I hope you're going to check out the xTool products for yourself. If not the F1, then maybe one of their other laser engravers. But more importantly, guys, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesday.